Well, guys, what did I say? As soon as we started hearing that the Nintendo Switch 2 or Nintendo's next gen system had already started mass production, I said that I hope that Nintendo does the reveal before that really ramps up, because once mass production starts and tons of these Nintendo Switch 2s are starting to be made, the chances of somebody just snapping a quick picture and uploading it and giving us like a lot of details is going to go up really high, as it's very difficult for Nintendo to control that throughout all the different parts where all of these things are being assembled. And it seems like Nintendo's worst nightmare in terms of leaks may have just happened, as we've got a bunch of detailed leaks here to talk about, including images of what the Nintendo Switch 2 or Nintendo's next gen system might actually look like, detailed specifications, and the story gets kind of really crazy with a lot of things kind of happening all over the place, as today was just kind of insane throughout the entire morning, as so many different things were coming out, and now people don't really know what they're looking at, but there is definitely some good information from all of this. So I figured I'd make this one video here and just break all of it down and give you guys the full story so it is easy for you to understand. So if you saw the last video, then you know in that video, there was apparently a Chinese factory worker who was claiming that the Nintendo Switch 2 had already begun mass production and they were making a bunch of them in a factory. And they also apparently said that they were going to share more information on the 18th, and well, today is the 18th and a ton of information came out on that Chinese forum. So it says right here, a post has been published on a Chinese forum which allegedly reveals the Switch 2 via production photos and mock-ups along with specifications which match those of the shipping manifest leak from several months ago. Take this as you will at present, as it is hard to verify the information. Here is what has appeared online so far. So we've got details here of like, I guess the stuff that's being shipped back and forth with like the game console itself, the left Joy-Con controller, the right Joy-Con controller, and the dock, but we've even got like specifications here of like detailed specs of like all of the components going into the system. And I mean, it's hard to verify this because we've got like actual like model numbers and stuff here, but I don't really know if we can actually trace that to figure out what it is. But like we can see here, even for like the RAM, we've got 6 gigabytes with X2 dual channel, which is matching exactly what we heard with the 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5. So we've even got like the memory here with 256 gigabytes of UFS 3.1. That's matching exactly what we heard as well. And we've even got like the audio chip model, NFC readers, so of course amiibos are still going to be a thing. Apparently there's a built-in microphone here as well, dual fans for cooling, video signal conversion from DisplayPort to HDMI, and it seems like it even supports HDMI 2.1, which is amazing as well. There's apparently the network chip model for like the Wi-Fi and everything, microcontrollers, video game console protective case model with even the sizing of that, and also the speaker. So all of that information is here. And I mean, it's hard to know for sure like how true that is. Like obviously somebody could just make up a bunch of random letters and numbers, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like with all of this coming out, and especially with all of the photos that we're going to take a look at down here, these photos are all coming out too. And this is what I was saying, where it's like as soon as this goes into mass production, this is just going to keep happening now unless Nintendo does the official reveal, where we can see right here, we've got 2 actual photos and then a bunch of like these mock-ups that are made on a computer with like actual kind of renders of what the system is going to be like. So here is a picture of the actual Joy-Cons. And we can see right here, the Joy-Cons, it seems like the SL and SR buttons, that's what I noticed right away, are definitely bigger. Seems like they're definitely going to be easier to press. And they do kind of look a little bit magnetic and metallic, like what we heard with our rumors, and that would make a lot of sense where like you put these and they would be able to click right into place. I guess these holes that are here are also gonna help you like line up your Joy-Con with the side of the Switch, so that way it's easy for you to find exactly where they fit in, and they're gonna click right into place. So that seems like it makes perfect sense. And then we've also got a picture here of what it seems like the actual system itself being assembled, and we've got like the motherboard right here. We can even see kind of components, and it seems like little pieces of this are even starting to kind of like go into place for where they belong. And we've even got like the shape of the Joy-Con itself here. But then we've got a ton of pictures right here of the actual system itself. Now, this is a comparison, of course, to the day one Nintendo Switch from 2017 with the flimsy kickstand, and you can see right here, it's going to be definitely just a little bit kind of wider than that, but the real difference is definitely going to be in terms of the height. Like, this one definitely looks like it's going to be much taller, and that, of course, means the Joy-Cons are going to be taller too, so they're definitely going to be bigger Joy-Cons with this system. And yeah, I mean, we can see right here, here's what an actual Joy-Con is going to look like. And so yeah, we can see here the SL and SR buttons are definitely much more prominent. We've even got like a better quality joystick right here. The buttons and everything seem to be exactly the same with what we have right now. And there's also a brand new button here underneath the home button, which was rumored all the way back in April. So it seems like that is lining up here too with the information that we've heard. Here is the left Joy-Con. Seems pretty much exactly like what we have right now. We've got the capture button right here. I know some people were disappointed that there isn't a normal D-pad, but as long as Nintendo wants to promote that whole idea of being able to hand somebody a Joy-Con, they can't have this be a D-pad because they have to have somebody be able to use these as 4 buttons inside of multiplayer games. But I'm sure maybe a third party is going to make like some type of like accessory that you can put on if you just want a normal D-pad in terms of the controller there. And here is the kind of system itself, and this is a long system. Like, I definitely feel like this is going to be a pretty long system when you hold it, but it does look very sleek still, so I'm very happy with that. Doesn't look like it's going to be really bulky or anything like that, but still seems pretty sleek. It seems like the joysticks and everything look really nice. We've got the same USB-C at the bottom here. We've got the speaker grills. So yeah, it seems like it's pretty standard to what you would expect with the Switch. Here's the photo I just showed you earlier. We've got the back of the Joy-Con right here now, which is matching what we heard about how there's like a third button here on the back of the trigger. That's what people said when they like put their hands inside of the box, where like Nintendo apparently let them feel what the system was going to be like. And I guess this is probably what they felt. And they were like, there's a big button on the back where like the triggers are. But it seems like this button is just going to be used to remove the Joy-Cons from the system, because that little button that we have right now on the current Joy-Con are not there, so that probably means this is going to be the button. I'm hoping it's still comfortable when you're actually holding it, because I hope like your fingers don't get in the way of like that button and it doesn't feel comfortable to hold. But I guess we're just gonna have to see until we actually hold one of these in our hands. And then we've got the left side right here. And yeah, here's the picture I showed you earlier, but here is the back of the system. The stand here seems to be very much like the OLED, where it seems like it's just going to lift up and it's going to be having different kind of adjustments that you can do with that. And yeah, here's the top of the system. We've got our cartridge slot right up here. We've got a headphone jack right up here. We've got your volume buttons, power button right here. And it also seems like that there is another USB-C slot on the top. Now, some people are wondering, like, does this mean that you're going to dock your Switch backwards? No, obviously not, because you still have the other one that we saw on the bottom. But I think this is going to solve that issue that some people had about how if you want to play in tabletop mode, you can't actually charge the system, because the current Switch that we have right now, you put the plug at the bottom and you can't hold it on like a table or anything if that's the case. So this is going to solve that, where now you can have a charging port on the top as well, so you can play it on your table and even in handheld mode, because sometimes just having it come up from the bottom, like the wire would definitely bend a lot if you were trying to charge it. So this is going to be more comfortable for some other positions if you just want to have the wire on the top. So now you basically seem like you have the option for you to choose where you want to put the charging cable. So I think that's a very smart decision for them to do. I'm actually very happy they did that. Speaker grills on the top here look pretty much like what you would expect. Or actually, these are probably the vents, not the speaker grills. So yeah, the vents seem like they're pretty much exactly like what we have on the normal Switch, where they're going to come up from the top. And then here is the difference with the screen size. I'm guessing this is the OLED model right here, because the Switch, normal Switch has like bigger bezels on it. So we can see right here, compared to the OLED Switch, this is still going to be quite a big difference in terms of what we're seeing here. A whole extra inch, but the entire system itself is going to be bigger. And then here is the actual system itself. Like, as soon as this image came out, a lot of people were saying, well, this looks very similar to just a normal Nintendo Switch, like an OLED. And honestly, I feel like it's because of this that it's more believable, because the way that the Nintendo president goes right now with how Furukawa handles things, he is very safe when it comes to kind of just having announcements and the way that he handles things. And I really feel like the Nintendo Switch 2 was pretty much going to be exactly like this, like a Nintendo Switch, but just slightly more powerful. And that's pretty much what everybody wanted. And I feel like that's really kind of what everybody is looking forward to, because we don't need some drastic design change with having like really different looking Joy-Cons or anything like that. We just want a normal Nintendo Switch, just more powerful, so that we don't have to have our games running in 14 FPS and 540p. And I'm very happy with this design if this is true, and it seems like this is pretty much very likely going to be the case, and we're going to get into why the credibility of this goes up. And yeah, we can see here the back of the system in comparison as well. And yeah, these are pretty much just the images that I showed you. So yeah, that's pretty much all we have right now in terms of the images. Now, VGC put out an article about all of this earlier this morning where we actually have this interesting part right here where it says, while these images are unverified, one source who has not seen the final Switch 2 console but has been briefed on Nintendo's plans told VGC that the Reddit images match what the company has told partners to expect from its design. So it seems like one of the partners that Nintendo has talked about with the Switch 2, they haven't gotten to see the final version of the system, but the information that they've been told does seem to match with what these images have. So it definitely seems like this is probably the real deal. And I mean, we've got more stuff right here. So it says the first thing was like once all of these images started coming out, the first thing that was discovered was it seems like these leaked Switch 2 images are actually fake because it comes from some Chinese design enthusiast who was making like these 3D models. And this is actually coming from some Chinese social media website. It seems like all of that was deleted, and we can actually use the Wayback Machine here to go and see it. So we can see right here on the social media website for this person, there's some type of like tech or 3D model enthusiast. Here is the post right here with like the Switch with like the images that we just got right here, plus 10 more, so you can click that and see all of the other images. So once this came out, everybody was like, oh, so it's just fake. Well, it seems like there's actually more to this story, as if we take a look right here, it says a source from Famiboards is saying that the original poster said that they obtained a shell model from an accessory manufacturer at great cost and then reverse designed it to create that CAD model. Therefore, it's not worth writing off the renders as fake quite yet, as it could just be an accurate mock-up of the shell. If the original poster is telling the truth, we need to see more photos of the real thing or an actual proper reveal first. And I mean, that's pretty much kind of the crazy thing here, is like, even if these images are not official in terms of like being official from like some employee that's in contact with Nintendo, it seems like they got these from some type of accessory manufacturer. They got this from like some type of accessory manufacturer who works closely with Nintendo, and if we're to believe that, then they took that information and then made these mock-ups based on that. So it seems like these are still based off of the real Nintendo Switch 2, if that's the case, but these shells here I feel like are the real deal. And that's the thing, is like these definitely seem like it's going to be pretty much lining up with exactly what we have in terms of the information. We can even see it starting to be assembled. I don't know why somebody would go to the lengths of faking a motherboard and all of that, so that's why these types of things I feel like are real. But obviously these mock-ups that we see right here of like these images of like these renders, these are probably just giving us an idea. Even if they're not official, we can kind of get an idea for what to expect, because everybody like we have like with the VGC article, the developers are saying that this is matching what they've heard. So I'm not saying that this is probably going to be much different than what we get in the final version. It is probably going to be very similar to this. And so yeah, we've even got like Necrolipe who was saying that they've heard similar things as well. And then we've also had another kind of accessory manufacturer who was called, I think, Hot NECA, and they said that they also are saying that these images are real. So yeah, I mean, it seems like everybody's just kind of saying that these are real. And I mean, honestly, something as detailed as this with all of the model numbers and everything coming out too, I just feel like it's too difficult to fake this. And even if this is not really official, like I said, it seems like this is definitely being based off of official information. And it seems like these are most likely going to be the real deal in terms of what to expect with the Nintendo Switch 2. Now here's kind of a more detailed version of the image right here where we can see kind of the parts and where they would go. So we've got like the USB-C dock slot right here. This entire thing is actually upside down with this motherboard. So we've got the speakers right here on the top, and then we've got our game card connector right here where you're going to put your cartridges in for your games. You got the headphone port right here. Here's where the display ribbon is going to be for like the screen. Giant battery compartment right here. Here's where the CPU and GPU are going to be. So yeah, we can see here it is really starting to kind of form here with exactly like what this entire system is going to be. And now there was also the supposed OS leak that happened. This one I'm telling you right now is blatantly fake. I don't believe this at all. It just seems way too similar to the current Nintendo Switch. I'd be very disappointed if this is what the actual UI looks like. So there's no way this is real. There's also apparently like a Mario image, but this looks like it's AI generated too. Apparently people were saying this is a new Mario game that got leaked, but no, this entire background and everything looks AI generated. So I don't believe in any of that type of stuff. I do think though that the images that we have of the system are most likely the real deal. So yeah, that is pretty much all the new information about the Nintendo Switch 2 that's come out today. A ton of images, a lot of stuff all over the place, and I'm honestly kind of a little sad that we already got to see what the design for this is going to be like. But I mean, that's kind of what happens when you wait too long, and I'd honestly say that the Nintendo Switch 2 is one of the most anticipated pieces of tech right now. Honestly, probably even the most, because that might be bold to kind of say, but honestly, right now, I feel like there isn't another piece of tech right now that so many people are just anticipating, because right now, all of the new iPhones, Android, Androids, all of that stuff has already come out. It's already happened. I feel like the only piece of tech right now that everybody's looking forward to is the Nintendo Switch 2. PlayStation already revealed the PS5 Pro and all of that, so we really don't have anything. And until next year, I guess, when they start showing off like new TVs and new tech and stuff next year, for now, the Nintendo Switch 2 definitely seems like it's the most hyped up piece of tech right now. So the leaks are only going to get worse. I feel like the longer Nintendo waits, more and more stuff is going to start coming out. And once we start getting videos and things, like that's when it's going to get really dangerous. So hopefully Nintendo is planning to do that reveal very soon. I'm guessing now it's probably going to be early October, I guess, because it doesn't seem like it's going to be happening this week now. I really did think that this was going to be the best week if they were going to do it in September, but I guess not now. And I don't see it happening next week for sure, because there's too many things happening with the new Zelda game coming out. We've got a PlayStation event and all of that. So it would be really dumb, I feel like, with having a brand new Switch 2 reveal in the middle of all of that, but you can never expect Nintendo, so I don't know what they'll do. But yeah, this is pretty much everything. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely gonna have some more videos talking about the next gen Nintendo system, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think about all of these leaks right here. How do you feel about the images? What do you feel about the design of the system? Are you happy by it? Are you disappointed? What do you think about everything? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about this, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.